Hello, everybody. This is Greg29407 back with another episode of City Skylines. Well, this is where we're at from our last episode. And today, what I want to do is go ahead and start working on our forestry industry right over here in this area over here. You may remember from our last episode, we did a bunch of focusing on around the railroad tracks and the small little houses around here. And we did a lot of little detailed work. It came out looking really nice, I think. It looks really cool. I think it's my favorite part of the map so far. The walkways, walking trails on both sides of the railroad tracks. A little cul-de-sac over here with these little tiny railroad houses where the railroad workers used to live when the tracks were, very much a big part of the main downtown area. And the little story we came up with was, this is probably a railroad town, maybe a forestry town at some point. And this was the center of everything. This was Main Street. This was where all the workers lived. And eventually things kind of expanded a little bit. Maybe there was some farmland over here. And at some point they had like a big circle town. And maybe when the railroad started to fail, then the freeways came in and they chopped off the bottom of the circle to get the freeway in here. And now the town's coming back. So let's go ahead and get started with this industrial area. I've been kind of curious as to how I was going to do that. What I've done since our last episode, though, I did add a high school here. We have 566 students here. We only have one elementary school still, the one we put in before, which was right here. And that is still not quite full, so that's still not a whole bunch of students. We're only 3,400 people total. And I added this, a giant recycling center. This is a mod that someone came up with. It's pretty expensive to have, but it can handle 570,000 garbage reserves. So it's doing most of our work for us. It doesn't cost any power, and it's really helpful. These things work fantastic. They don't put out a lot of pollution. It's just noise pollution. So I generally use that to try and help avoid problems with garbage and stuff. But I'm trying to figure out what to do with this spoke because I want this whole area here. It's going to be it's a really massive thing. I think most of our employment is going to come from here. So I think what I may end up doing is just having this road bend and be like the outer edge of this. I think that's what I'm going to do, in fact. So let's go ahead and cut this off. Let's see. One more section. Kind of go something like this, the outer edge. Kind of parallel to the freeway a little bit. Right, good. Then we start to do a turn. Kind of enclose this area. That is a really, really big section. Wow, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that is one gigantic industrial area. That may be way too big, but we'll go with it and see what happens. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do a district. And paint our district here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the district, so do a little bit, just go ahead and paint this. I may go over on the other side of the road too, I don't know. Maybe not. I'm thinking that this little district is going to be surrounded by more neighborhood, much like our neighborhood that was up here. Spruce Park, that's a pretty good name. And because that's where the workers would be working. And we're going to need a lot of workers to fill up this industrial area. This thing is going to take a huge amount of employees. We're going to be cutting down trees like crazy and everything else. And growing trees and turning trees into paper and planed wood and all that kind of stuff. I really do like these industry things that we have. Okay, so that's the district. Now let's see here. Industry specialization. We want to specialize in forestry. Industry area. I'm not quite sure why we had to do this a second time. I'm not sure if we had to do the first. I'm not sure how that works exactly, to be honest with you. We can always expand this to the outside too. Some of the things that are part of the industry, forestry industry, do not have to be within this area. I'm going to keep this mainly for the things that have to be in there, like the paper mills and all that kind of thing, and where we're actually growing the trees and stuff. And then on the outside, maybe things like warehouses, they don't need to be part of the district. Although we have more than enough land for this thing, I don't think we're going to run out of land. All right. Is that a little tree there? Yes. Okay, it's got a little tree there. That's good. Okay. All righty. Now, what I'm going to want to do, what's going to happen is as soon as we start putting this stuff down, laying this stuff out, all the traffic is going to take this one and only road to try and get onto the freeway and stuff. So this is going to be a big mess. So what I want to do is I want to give this area its own freeway on-ramp, off-ramp, so that we can get all these guys directly over here without having to go all the way up here. I also want to eventually have its own cargo rail station right over here somewhere. So this area is going to be like really heavy-duty industrial and stuff. And eventually I can maybe have the railroads go over this or go in here and go over here as well to pick up some of the traffic from these guys eventually. We will have some oil stuff. Maybe we want to continue them as well. So a lot of stuff's going to go on in here. What I want to do, though, is first of all, make sure we can do that. So I want to try and lay in an overpass somewhere down here where it's going to be a matter, maybe way down here on this end. Or maybe you should do it, yeah, okay, we'll do it down here. And now I've got to try and fit this thing with the railroads over here, and if I mess up the rails, I'm stuck because I cannot replace the rails yet. We don't have enough population. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and start working on this road. Now, I can move over the railroad a little bit. I don't think I really need to. All right, so I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Oh, we do have the freeway off-ramp. Okay, oh, good. We have a freeway on-ramp, off-ramp now. Okay, this is going to make things much easier. Okay. 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 back down. If we can get this thing to work. Let's see if this will work a little bit better for us. No. Okay, you gotta kind of fiddle around with this thing a little bit. Let's see if we take it back the other way. Come on. It does not want to make that thing. Well, we can go ahead and use move it. We need to, but I'd like to avoid that if at all possible. Okay, let's check and move it and see if we can get this to work. Bring that down a little bit. A little bit low. Okay, whoop. Bring it back up. Okay, now let's see if we can carry that over. It does not want to do that. Let's see. There we go. So I used this road anarchy and clicked on A for anarchy and forced this to do my bidding. Let's see how this looks. And you can do this without using that, as I did that before. Notice it does not run over the train tracks. Okay. A little bit goofy looking. Okay, let's go back to move it. Let's bring that down a little bit. Okay, it's a little bit better. That's not too terrible. Okay, now let's do the same thing on this side of the road. Drag it up to here. Oh, oops, mistake. There we go. That was a lot easier because of we have a little bit more space there. Now, let's go ahead and it's kind of weird still. A little bit more playing around with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this side, put these the same height. I'm going to bring this over a little bit. So it kind of matches. Oh, that is the wrong height, isn't it? Oops. It really is. Well, let's see. Oh. So park reached level 3. Hey, there we go. Very nice. A little high. That's the height I wanted, I think. All right, now, what we're going to do next is make this a roundabout on top. Oops. So we're going to do let's see. Curve road. Okay. Okay. I just need something to match up. Let's try this. Okay. So now what we'll do is move it again, and we'll make this a little bit more of a corner like this. All right. All right, so that is a really messy looking narrow overpass. Now, what we're going to do from here is we're going to connect that directly to this road right here. I'll move it. Okay. Let's see here. All right, that is really ugly, but we have an overpass that will take us directly from our industry section to the freeway, on and off. Now, eventually, we'll do like a railroad yard, maybe right here, so we'll have another way of doing that as well. How does this look exactly? I don't know. let's see. I'd like to move this. I'm not sure if that's going to work. I'm going to play around with this a little bit, and I will be right back. All right, we are back. I made a little bit of change. What I did was I went ahead and just extended our little overpass from here all the way out to a couple more sections. So we could have, I didn't want to have this as like a four-way intersection in there. That would have been very weird. There's a bit more of an angle here. All right. And that is not terrible. It's not beautiful. It's not going to win any beauty contest, but it's not terrible either. All right. Anyway, while I was doing that, I did get a message that we need to have a cemetery. So that's sad yet true. So let's go ahead and figure where we're going to put a cemetery at. I don't have a lot of good spots for that right now, although maybe right over here on these outer side, yes, outside, yeah. Boot Hill. Yeah, this is the original Old Town section of our city. We have a cemetery somewhere in there. Okay. All right, so let's get back to this. Now, so we have a thing now. What we can do is maybe put the center of this whole thing down here somewhere, right in the closer to this intersection, so a lot of our industry will be moving over here. I don't want them going up this road and then clogging up all this stuff. I want them to use this freeway down here. So let's go ahead and go into our industry section. Forestry. And the only building we can do is Forestry main building. Now notice we have extractor buildings, processing buildings, unique factories, and then commercial zones. So what we have to do right now is put in this first thing, the Forestry main building, and then that's going to open up a lot of different things for us. So I'm going to put this somewhere right in the middle here. Right here on the edge, so it's kind of a little bit closer to this end down here. There we go. So now we have a sawmill, small tree plantation, and small log yard. Now, here's the thing. So here is the small tree plantation. Small tree plantation can be used to cultivate alder, beech, or conifer. All extractor is an extractor building. Variation produce raw forest products. Extractors need to be placed on forest area inside industry area. So this is an extractor. And then here's our sawmill. Sawmill, the processing building. So it's a second of the processing building. So we're going to have the extractor, we're going to have all the forestry, and then that forestry gets cut down and turned in, goes to the sawmill, and the sawmill creates all the planks and stuff. And then we have this log yard, they said, yeah. A small storage yard for storing raw forest products. Storage building can be placed outside industry areas, which is what we're going to do in a lot of cases. Okay. Now what I'm going to do inside the area is I'm going to place dirt roads. I want to have a bunch of dirt roads in there. Because it's more, you know, it's more of a rural type thing. 2-lane gravel road area. Okay, so let's see. Oops, I've got it a little higher up there. This is still raised from our road section. So we've laid some regular roads here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put inside the center all of our forestry extractor stuff. And around the outer edge, the like the sawmills and all that kind of thing. And then on the outside rim, it'll be the storage stuff that doesn't need to be in there. Okay, so let's go back in here. I wish you could see this better because it's a pain in the neck trying to lay this stuff down like this. Here's my road. Road. And we'll put down 3. Right next to each other. Okay, and I'm going to change these. So this is beech. I'm going to change this to alder. Change this to conifer. There's no reason for that. You don't get any benefit from it. I just like having, a little bit of everything in it. Okay. Now what I'm going to need to do after this is I want to go ahead and place my sawmills. And I think what I want to do is place sawmills this side. So my dirt road here. Sometimes the sawmills do not like the little curvy roads. Oh, I'm out of money. That's why. I was wondering why it's not doing anything. All right. So let's start this up again. Okay, I already built the extractor. So what you can do is then click on your main building and get the industry area information. So just now starting. Oh, I had no power or water. Oops. All right, I'm going to put this back on hold. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and connect water here. Let's get the water first. Oh, that's a lot of money. Yikes. Okay. So I do the order we need to. Water. Just connect the heck out of our power lines right now because we can always clean those up later. Doing a lot of power lines all over our forest. But will work for the time being. There we go. Oh, that was loud. Sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. So we are going to, here's what happens. This thing will produce raw forest products from our extractor buildings. And then the raw products we sell overall, which is the majority of it, goes to we just sell out to outside areas, lumber. We also have plain timber, which comes from the sawmill, and this is a little bit more profitable for us. And we also make paper. We haven't gotten that processing building yet, but there'll be a wood pellet building. So those are the things, and then you can also have the production buildings after that, where we actually make toys and furniture and fine goods and things like that. So that is the basis of our industry. So this has been a little bit longer episode. So sorry about that. So we're going to call it a day on this one. Until next time, this is Greg 29407 saying sayonara, and we will see you next time.